Hello, my bump, bruise, and blessed family. For those of you that have been with me, thank you. I appreciate you all. For those that are new to the channel, welcome. I'm sorry, we all know this nightmare. Please subscribe so that you know when I put up new stuff. I have a lot of exciting links in the bottom, and I have a book that just came out. It's awesome. Available on Amazon as well as barnesandnoble.com. It's called The Black Sheep Book by me, Michelle Johnson. I was raised in a dysfunctional narcissistic unit. I like to refrain from using any endearing terms like family because these people disgrace the terms, as we well know. I had a narcissistic mother, an enabling henchman of a father, golden boy, flying monkey, older brother, and then myself, the youngest daughter, only daughter, black sheep. I have my master's and bachelor's in psychology, so I'm able to integrate my background with my unfortunate experience. So today my topic is going to be further insight as to us understanding these monsters, right? Because they're like an entirely different species. My best advice to people that are just like, this is, how could they do this? Is we all get hung up in that space because it's incomprehensible. That's why these monsters got away with what they did for as long as they did, because it's just inconceivable. Like, we are genuinely good people. We have kindness in our hearts, but these people lack even basic human decency. It's mind-blowing. But as my husband says, it's like trying to get in the mind of a serial killer. My best advice, like I was saying, this is a mental disorder. This is mental illness at its worst. Like, it's covert, but this is diagnosable in the Diagnostic Statistic Manual for used by psychologists and clinicians. There's a legitimate code. This is a personality disorder, cluster B. So, narcissistic personality disorder. I am talking today about how narcissists they will throw around the term love all the day is long because it's a great manipulation tactic. You know, if they say, I love you, then why would we suspect that they're betraying us terribly to the worst degree, the worst extent? Like, my narcissistic mother used to throw this around often, and it was as if she knew she was using it like as a manipulation tactic. It's like she'd be stabbing me in the back, but all the while, I love you, Michelle. Like, okay, like that makes no sense. But in their sordid, deluded minds, they actually convinced themselves that they love us. And as is with everything, they manipulate, they distort the actual term to suit themselves, their needs, their purposes, their narrative in life. They live in a world of delusion where, you know, they are just the star of the show. Their grandiosity, their eccentricity, all of it. It's like bolstering their ego the whole time to overcompensate for their inferiority, lack of self-esteem, all that stuff. So this is the root of the narcissistic personality disorder. But back to the whole love thing. I watched a special on Netflix where it was about Bernie Madoff, and at the end of it, they were saying that, you know, his whole family was devastated because of him and his actions. And they said he loved his family because of how they loved him. That is the quintessential idea of how narcissists view love. Like everything else in the world, human beings that actually love and care for them are viewed as objects, just a way to forward themselves and, again, to elevate their status or reputation or whatever. So Bernie Madoff loved his family because of the way they love him. I see this. I've seen this. You know, it's like children are beautiful. They're perfect. They're the epitome of everything perfect in this world. Children are innocent. They're tabula rasas, blank slates, as they say in psychological terms. It's just, kids are perfect, right? So when we come into this world with these monsters as our parents, caregivers, they're just like pie-eyed, you know, like, oh, we will be whatever they want us to be. And children always idolize their parents because that's all you know. They're the greatest things since sliced bread. So narcissists take full advantage of this opportunity as they see it. So narcissists love their children because, first of all, I've spoken about this as well. They have cognitive empathy as opposed to legitimate, authentic empathy. Cognitively, they know that they're supposed to love their kids. They know that they're supposed to have these feelings of nurturing and affinity for family, but they just don't have it. They're like, in my last video, I mentioned this as well. I recently read, it's so disturbing. I recently read that the brains of narcissists, they're not studied often because, of course, narcissists don't see anything wrong with themselves. But the limited knowledge that they do have, they discovered that their brains are actually hindered. Like, they're not, I gotta find a better way to speak on this. But it's like their brains are not fully developed in the areas that exude compassion, kindness, human decency, all of those endearing human characteristics. They're not fully developed in narcissists. Wild, right? But again, narcissists, it's like they extract supply from their loved ones, the people that they love, that they will claim to love. And that is what they attribute to, you know, their value. Like everything has to have a quantifiable value in the narcissist's eyes. So children are ample supply. That's why when these people become grandparents, round two, it's like, ooh, like they're just salivating and they don't actually have to be present for parental responsibilities. They just come and go as they please, and all the while extracting supply by the title of grandparent, and the kids obviously are perfect and beautiful and idolizing these people because they don't know any better. And they struck when we were prime supply, when we were younger and we didn't know any better. So they loved us. They will always love us. Like this woman, my narcissistic mother, used to say that so often, and it was such like cognitive dissonance, right? Like we would be having an altercation, something like some type of disagreement where I was calling her out like I always was, and she was using all the narcissistic tactics, historical revisionism, toxic amnesia, anything to absolve herself from responsibility or being held accountable. So, but then she got supply from me and my awesome husband and our beautiful children finally later in life. You know, my husband's fun, our children are beautiful and perfect. Thankfully, if you have not been following me, I did cut contact in August of 2019, and as with everyone else that reports back on this, my only regret is not doing it sooner. And always, always protect your boundaries. If you need to get the law involved, do it to the fullest extent. These people have absolutely no respect for you. They never did, and they never will. They believe themselves to be superior, entitled, all of those things. Back to the whole. If you were in a relationship, an entanglement with a narcissist as well, of course they loved you. They loved the way you saw, potential. Even though it's not there, you saw potential in them, right? You wanted to believe that they had a good heart. You wanted to believe that there was endearing qualities about them. You treated them like a worthy person, which is wild because they treated you like garbage the whole time. They had no respect for you ever. Lying to you, cheating on you, undoubtedly. But narcissistic parents will exploit this to the fullest degree. A while back, I made a post about this and I said, love is just another term that narcissists use in their strategic game of manipulation. Because everything in life is a manipulation opportunity for them, because that's all they're doing. Everything's a game. They play with people's emotions because they don't have legitimate, genuine emotions themselves. Anyway, guys, check out my links below. I have a website, and I am so excited about my book. It's finally out. It took like a short eternity, but I'm super proud of it. You can pick it up at any page and open it and read and learn about like psychological terminology that applies to narcissists. Again, coupled with my personal experience. There's awesome cartoons on every page that is illustrated. So please check it out. Amazon or BarnesandNoble.com. I love you all. I will be back.